crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. All I know about you, you like to pick and choose. Make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me. 'Cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just playing. The way you're making it move, yeah, you do it so smooth. Make it all about you. Can have it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that.
I can't get you out of my mind. Oh baby, every curse like a new adventure, pulling me into the center closer. Yeah, baby, I'm not playing around. I mean every little word. I can't get you out of my mind. Oh baby, every curse got me going crazy. Can't control it, cannot see it. Oh man.
Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of Shop Talk. This is your boy, Rodney Howell. Now, this is part 2 of one amazing podcast show that we had. We're talking about dating after a divorce and if it's difficult, if it's not difficult, if you want to date. But let me bring on my guests. I got my girl, my Shop Talk girl, Miss Sheila Asbury. Sheila.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going, Sheila? Look at you, looking good.
Hey, how are you, Rodney?
Loving that haircut, babe. I am wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That looks good. That looks good. Now, we got our special guest. We have Pam Donahoe Rose on this evening. Come on in, Pam.
Hey, good evening.
What's
hey,
going
Rod.
on?
Hey, bro. Hey, Sheila.
Hey, Pam. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Yes, most definitely. Pam, we are so excited that you're joining us here on the night. Usually we have Joy on here with us, but Joy's out sick. She's not feeling well on today. So I guess I figured she didn't want to put her makeup on and all that other type of stuff. Because I don't understand how you sit off of a podcast. All you got to do is show up and look good.
That's right.
So she must not be feeling good. But you guys, you know what? Sheila was here on a couple of weeks ago when we did this, when it's first broadcast. So this is a part 2 of dating after divorce. And for those of you that were tuned in a couple of weeks ago, you know that Sheila has been divorced and she's dating. And then we wanted to put a little twist to it because it's not always after a divorce. Sometimes it's after your partner dies and you become a widow or a widower. And that's what Pam is. We have Pam on today, and she's going to talk to us about how hard it is, one, after losing a spouse for after so many years, and then getting back into the dating game. That's gotta be, it's already hard for single people out here. But when you have Mr. Right or Miss Right, and then they leave on and they pass on, it's like you're still in love, I hope, with your partner,
Mhm.
when they die. So that's kind of hard, Pam. Can you speak a little on that, how that was for you?
Well, first of all, yeah, it's definitely a whole different perspective when you lose your spouse because, especially when it's unexpected.
Right,
Um,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, I can't do this by myself. This is not
right,
going to work.
right,
That's your
Mhm.
initial reaction after the whole blow of losing this person.
right, right,
Then after that, everyone says, it takes time, you'll be fine. So on. And of course, they were right. But
right,
at the
right,
you don't really want, you're not hearing that
right.
Mhm.
because
In the
you're trying to
midst
get over
of
the fact I have to do this new life by myself.
right, right,
And there's so many dynamics to go into that. And for me, it does take time.
right.
It's been
How long,
all
Pam, were you guys married, sweetheart?
for 14.
14 years. And
Okay.
that's a long time. So you were like rooted and embedded in this relationship. And
Absolutely,
then
because
it was
it's
all of a
marriage.
sudden, right, right,
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
To be kind of specific, he had cancer.
right.
Um, beat the cancer, so it wasn't that; it was the blood clot.
Wow.
And
Wow,
it
Okay.
wow.
occurred
I
during
didn't know that, Pam. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I thought it was the cancer.
yeah. You are susceptible to blood clots during your cancer treatment.
Right,
Wow.
right,
It
Okay.
can come at any time, and like I said, he had beat the cancer on Martin Luther King's birthday was his last treatment.
right, right,
And you know, unless you have your follow up following right after that, there's no
hmm
way that they can detect a blood clot.
right,
So
right,
basically took him out. So that's what I mean when I say unexpected.
Hmm.
Um,
right,
Okay.
right.
but it'll be almost 3 years in February of next year.
That's good. And you
Okay.
still hanging in here, baby, with
Looking
Well,
beautiful as
friends,
always.
loved ones,
God is
and I
it.
know it's
I mean,
not easy.
I can't give anyone credit but God.
Right, right.
Amen.
That's true. I
That's right.
know it's not easy. And then it's hard
Absolutely.
now, Pam, with and
Mhm.
I'm sure that he would have wanted you to go on and continue, living your life. It's not like you're some old woman and that's it. And I'm gonna sit over here to the side. It's obvious you are a beautiful, fabulous woman, very successful. And eventually it ends up happening. You get back in the game. Now with the guys, and I'm sure you all know, it's a little different. Guys can sometimes get back in the game within a couple weeks after your
Well, that's
passing.
not. Yeah.
Some guys don't wait as long as women. When they're because everybody agrees differently. But
Yeah.
men, and I think what it is, and I don't think it's any personal thing against his wife that he was married to or what have you. Some men, and especially after being married, some men are used to being married.
Yeah.
They're used to having a wife, so they're going back out into the dating field.
Hmm.
Sometimes they ain't even gotta go out. The sister meeting you at the door with a casserole,
Right.
at the
Right.
memorial service.
Absolutely.
Exactly, talking about, oh, I'm here for you, if you need me.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a little easier for guys to jump back into it. But how long did it take you to have any type of regrets or anything saying, oh, I shouldn't get back into the dating field, or what was it that prompted you to say, okay, now it's time?
Well, I knew in my mind when it was time, but initially I was I was very guarded because a lot of men, I'm a woman. So a
Right,
lot of
right.
men just want to know, okay, what's she getting ready to do? Who's she getting ready to date? So I was very reserved and very guarded, like when I was ready.
Right,
Because
right.
I don't want you to know, and I mean don't start coming at me like some vultures. You know what I
hmm
mean?
Right.
Because I'm very careful about who I have in my life anyway.
Right, and that's
Right.
That
important.
before my husband, I was like that throughout my dating process, through the years growing up.
hmm
Hmm.
So I've always been very particular very particular about who I get involved with, even as a young lady.
Right.
You know, with losing a husband and everybody's just waiting. Oh, I wonder who Pam's going to be with.
Right. Right.
You know, and I knew it. So,
Right.
you know, and they're very careful about asking or speaking about it because they don't know what to
No.
say because I lost
Exactly.
my husband.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
And
yeah,
that's what, so, and it's a little different, of course, from divorce, Sheila, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so
Similar, different but similar. You know,
right, right.
you know,
Because
you do
it's a
have a
death.
grieving process, but
That's
nothing
a
near losing a spouse. But you go through
right,
that process, as Pam mentioned. I felt when I initially started dating, I was a little guarded.
right.
I've been divorced for 10 years now, maybe 11 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I first started, when I thought I was ready to date, the couple comments I heard, and this maybe what Pam is like, we want to take you off the market right away. Well, wait. That's not what I'm here to do.
Right.
Not the case like that in too much more nowadays, but I did have people approach me when they first found out that I was single, to the point where mentioned this on the last podcast. I wore my ring for a long time, not because I was holding on to the relationship. It's because I wasn't ready for people to come at me
Oh, that's
thinking
smart.
that I was single, right? And
Right,
so that was
right.
kind of a slight deterrent. It didn't always work, but that was my
Yeah, because
way of
brothers, if they
easing.
want you, they coming.
Yeah,
right.
easing into the dating scene was once I removed my. He was like, "Oh, are you married?" Now I don't get that much. 10 years later, but I did have to ease in it. I felt guarded as well
Right,
because I didn't want everybody to have access to me. Not that I was all that. I
Right.
don't want to.
right. And it's
that way.
it's actually a death as well. Wouldn't you say, Sheila? A marriage is a
I
death.
will not compare it to a death. I don't know what that feels like, so I don't want
Right.
to minimize that. But yes, it was
Right.
very traumatic.
Right,
Going
right.
through a divorce, I don't wish it on anybody, but no matter what part role you played, it's traumatic for everyone. And if you have kids, it's even more dynamic, right?
Right,
So,
right. Exactly.
just wanted
And
to,
I'm sure, obviously, I've never been divorced, but I mean, unless it's just like down, dragged out, dog dirty,
Mhm.
there's nothing positive. There's nothing good about divorce.
Coming
Well,
out
and
of
I've
the
heard
divorce.
Right.
Exactly.
stories about it, so it's not gonna it's not a happy thing anyway. You know.
Right,
And
right,
you have
right.
a stigma too. I hate to say that. No matter if me personally, I didn't feel like I put a stigma on myself. But sometimes people put a stigma on you. Oh, she's divorced. Something must be wrong with her. No, it's
You
wrong.
think,
We all have work to
Sheila?
do.
Yeah,
As we
yeah.
mentioned, we always want to be better, as unto the Lord, that kind of thing. So
Exactly.
you're always, a work in process, but a progress, excuse me. But especially as a woman, I don't know how it is for a man, but as a woman, when you say divorce, and I've been divorced twice, right? The
Mhm.
first one
Okay.
I counted, but I was
Look,
very
you
young.
getting it right, baby. You getting it right.
I was very young, and it was an slight amicable divorce.
Right.
Nothing about divorce is easy, but the second one's a little bit more traumatic for me. So coming out, and I'm transparent. Have you been married? Yes. How many times? Twice. And they're like,
Right.
whoa, the first reaction sometimes you'll get is that stigma. And it's like, there's not, they start thinking of you, of things that could be negative about you instead of looking at what's
Positive.
So,
Exactly.
not
So,
always, but that does happen.
And
Right.
by that same token, whomever is saying, "Wow, so you are not in a relationship right now, and what happened to the last one?" You know what I mean?
right. People
Right.
want to know. Hey, you
Same
guys,
thing, right?
That's
We're
a
gonna hold that thought.
That's a touche
Hold that
right there.
thought, ladies.
Exactly.
We're
The
gonna,
only difference, Pam, is I had papers. Yours didn't. So-
Right. Hey, you guys, hold that thought. We're going to go to commercial break for a second, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to get right back into Pam and how you started to get back out there in the field, Pam. So stay tuned, you guys. It's Shop Talk with your boy Rodney. We got interesting conversation going on, so make sure you come right back.
That's right.
Thank you. We will.
made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a God, I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. Moon landed with the elevation, arms strong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration, that was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.
Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make it seem. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the.
Hey, you guys, and we are back. I'm your boy Rodney Howell, and this is Shot Talk. And we have my girl Sheila and Pam on the show today. And we're talking about dating after divorce and dating after your partner dies, and how hard it is getting back in the field. So you guys, make sure you click like and share so that we can get this out there and let everyone know about Shot Talk. And if you got any questions, make sure you tune in. Just go to the comments and comment, and I'm sure Sheila and Pam will be able to answer any questions for you guys. We want to keep it very transparent, and we're trying to help somebody else. You know, it's a situation that it happens. It's a part of life. You know, you can be in love with someone, and your day is just going, your year is going wonderful, and then you lose them to death or either to a divorce. So now, Pam, what I mean, when did you think it was time for you to get out there? Did you have any regrets? Did you feel Pam's husband name was Bill, is my brother as well, a wonderful guy. And I don't think she probably could have picked, and I'm sure you agree, a better person. Bill was a really, really cool guy. And so in that kind of hard, Pam, do you compare?
No, absolutely not. I don't compare any relationships that I've been involved in. I also never bring what I had before into it,
Okay.
especially if it's something negative. I learn from what I've been through.
Right. Pam, did you have any regrets, or did you feel that you were betraying your ex by going out and starting to date, or did you think it was too soon, or you were just following your heart?
No, it definitely was. I didn't think it definitely wasn't too soon because really I just decided that I was ready probably maybe the beginning of this year.
Right.
But still I wasn't putting myself out there, so it didn't, it was not like, I didn't
You
put
were
myself
looking. You
out
weren't
there.
looking. You weren't
I
looking.
thought, and I talked with, my personal friends about, whether or not I'm ready.
Right. Did
And
you
the
ever
other
feel
part,
guilty? Did you ever feel guilty at any point?
no, actually, not when I was ready.
Okay.
I actually talked to my pastor, probably about a year ago, and he said, I understand, you've lost Bill and so on and so forth. But he said, it's time for Pam now.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
you're still
good.
here.
Right. And Pam, would you
I'm like,
say that's a part of the healing process? Is
oh,
coming back out
absolutely.
there? Yeah.
Part of the healing process too is for me was just um being there for other people, not
Mhm.
just in relationships, but just period.
Right,
Right.
right,
That
right,
helps me heal.
right,
Yeah.
To be there for someone, you know, supportive wise, emotionally, and everything.
Mhm.
right,
'Cause I'm
right.
just that type of person anyway, but it helps me heal.
Right.
The other part of it, it's just that you know when you're ready.
Right, right.
You
You
know, it
feel
takes
within
care
your
of
heart
everyone.
that
Mhm.
Yeah,
you're ready to get out there. So Pam, it was you said 17 years you guys were married?
14.
14.
14
We,
years.
we met
Okay,
in 2003.
so that means the dating game kind of changed within 14 years.
For
So
everybody.
were you like shocked when you was like, oh heck no, I gotta get back out here and deal with a bunch of knuckleheads and
Well,
how
see,
did you feel about that?
the thing about me is that when whoever I've dated, someone else knew that person.
Right,
I don't just
Mm.
I don't meet anyone that no one else knows.
right. Viewers, that's what you call old school dating.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
they have to
You
tell me
gotta be
something about
introduced.
this person,
Right,
because
right,
you got to be careful. But I
right.
met Bill through some mutual friends of ours at their house,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't thinking about him then. But that's how I met him, and then like, because you got to tell me something about somebody. I'm not out
Yes,
here
great.
just trying to meet somebody at a bar, and I don't know you, and nobody else knows who you are.
Right. So we're not.
Pam,
So you're not.
that's crazy because sometimes you know somebody and some folks on this call I won't name would tell you about somebody and then it's like, wait a
Shut
minute.
up.
That's
Well, and that's true.
that's
And that's
somebody completely different than
that's
what you
true.
told me about. So
Look,
what is
I
that?
had good
True.
intentions.
That's
You know
very
what?
true.
You did. That's
Look, it's just my heart. I
I'm
want
just
everybody
saying.
to have
No,
somebody.
no.
I'm that type of
I'm just
person.
it's not always the case. I just wanted to throw it,
Right.
just say
No,
Look,
it.
I'm that
yeah,
type of person that every soul deserves another soul to love. And
Absolutely.
and I happen to
Absolutely.
think that anybody that's a friend of mine,
Yeah,
they're good people. But
absolutely.
sometimes, Sheila, sometimes just because you're a good person doesn't mean that you're a good person for that
Or you
person.
just may not be
yes,
compatible.
yes.
That's
Or
right.
in a
You're not
relationship.
compatible. You're
Yeah.
just
Or in
not
a relationship.
compatible. Right.
Yeah.
So Pam, are you against dating sites or would you be open to a dating site?
I thought about it. Not there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Sheila, what about you?
Somebody convinced me to go on one dating site, and I'm telling you, some of the
Mhm.
things that came across my my scroll or swipe right or whatever it was.
Right.
I'm a believer to let people talk, and you'll find out who they are.
Yeah,
And some of the
exactly.
folks that I've met online, this one particular site, I was only there less than 30 days. I
Hmm.
said enough is enough. I washed my hands of it and I didn't go back. Now I heard people have success on there, but I
Right.
just don't believe in spending my monthly money for somebody to reject me and swipe left. That is not my thing.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not a fish in a fishbowl where you can just or crab in
And
the
I
barrel,
get
whatever you
it.
want to call. That
And you
makes
know what? I get it, but some people have had success stories on, and it's just a new way of dating because, come on, we all know that we can meet a brother or sister in church
Mhm,
and think that that is, oh, heaven on earth. I met them in
mhm,
church, they're
That's
Christian
very
or
nice.
they're whatever organization you're a part of, they're this.
right.
And so I know I got the right person. And then you end up sleeping with the enemy 10 years later. You be like, who is this person that I've
Right.
been married
Sometimes
to?
not even later, but
Right. So it doesn't necessarily mean it because if we're on a dating site, we're good people. So somebody's very fortunate if they end up hooking up with us. So I'm sure that we're not the only good people on the dating site. Just like it's bad people, you got the good and you got the
I
bad.
think it's just too much of a commodity. That's just me. I'm not knocking any dating
Right.
sites because like I
Right.
said, and I might
absolutely.
succumb to it. Don't know, but I think people, there's no, I don't know the right word. I'm a person,
Right.
and
Right.
sometimes they just throw you away and be like, on to the next. It's
Right.
like
Right. I see what you're saying. You
it's
don't
just
feel valued sometimes on that. You're
exactly.
just a number.
Like they haven't
Um,
even gotten to know me. They're looking at a picture that's not the best
right.
representation of me. They haven't really taken the time. It's like, oh, as soon as the next shiny little object comes along,
There. And
on
that's
to
what
the
it
next
is
one.
too, Sheila.
That's
They
not what I'm
have
into.
options. People have
Yeah.
a lot of options, and especially men now have a lot of options, and they're just right at your fingertips. You can go on your phone, you can go on your computer, and you can tap into these dating sites. And then you got a slew of women, of men. It don't matter. The radius can be as far as you want it to be, of people that you can meet. So there are a lot of options, and it's not as organic as it used to be when we were dating. But to our viewers, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to
You
chime
got a comment in there. You see the comment? We did get one.
Exactly.
There we
Hey, Sheila and Pam.
Hey, Joyce. I know Joyce.
Exactly.
You
Hey,
know Joyce
Joyce.
too.
Thanks for saying hello, Joyce. I get Joyce know everybody, so
She do.
she
know
already know the story.
Right.
But for those of you that have questions for them, this is your opportunity, guys, to ask them some questions, or probably something that you can give us some hints or something that
That's
tips
right.
on dating, on trying to meet somebody. Because the ultimate goal is that we all want somebody to have in our lives. You know, we all need companionship, whether it be, you know, another marriage, or just somebody to hang out with, or just Mr. or Miss Right Now, or just a maintenance person. So
Lord.
But amazing. I like it.
but look, but are you, and I'm going to propose this to you, Pam, and Sheila, you as well. But Pam, do you think that you want to get married again?
I'm definitely open to it, but let me just say this. I have been blessed to have a major framework. And when I mean framework, I
I
say
like that.
from my dad.
Right, I like that.
Having a father like I had, I already know the type of man that I deserve.
Right.
So whoever it is will definitely follow along that guideline. Now, I know what a man should be for my dad.
Right,
So
exactly.
I'm blessed
That's
to know what
important.
I deserve and what I expect because I know what I bring to the table.
Right.
Exactly. Sheila, what about you?
I'm not opposed to it. It's not number one on the list. I'm looking for companionship. You know, at this stage in my life, I just really want to be with somebody who enjoys me, my company, whether it's
Right.
doing something or nothing at all. If it leads into marriage, I would love that opportunity. So I'm not going to say no. And like Pam, my stepdad was a huge role model in my
That's
life, whether he
awesome.
knows it or not. I'm sure he's not watching, but my mom's probably watching.
Well,
She'll
yeah,
tell.
he'll know now.
So there's some standards there. And as Pam said, when you value and know who you are and your worth, and I'm not saying it in a way like I'm so good that I
But
deserve
you
to be a
are, but you
princess,
are,
Absolutely not.
but you are.
Absolutely not.
but you got to come correct to a degree, you know, and I'm
Exactly.
going to do my best to come correct as well. So it's on me as well, but not everybody
That's
is in that same playing space. That's the
right.
thing.
Just
That's
to let the viewers know, and the brothers know that's watching that may be interested. These are two powerful, very educated women, you know, and I'm not for sure. I think one is on the market, the other one I don't know if she's teeter-tottering, you know, with dating. I don't know. But the thing is that if you're looking for quality is going to come with some type of pushback. You're just not going to be able to jump in and do this and do that, and you should want that. You know, the brother
Absolutely.
should want that as well as
right.
the woman. Do you guys
Yeah.
find that in dating, once the guys get to know you, and because of the positions that you hold, they are a little intimidated by who you are, or what do you think, Sheila?
You know, I there's some that said it right out loud, and I don't really. Let's preface this. I don't wear my career all the time. That
So,
pays the bills. That keeps my lights on.
right,
I'm still
right,
Sheila, whether
right,
I got some letters behind my name or whatever that is.
right,
So I don't want anyone to think that she thinks she's all that because she got this, and this. No,
right,
if they know me, they know that is part of the process,
right.
right, of
Who
life.
you are, right,
But some people will put that stigma on you without you even knowing,
right.
especially
That's true.
guys. They'll look at you immediately, say, "Oh, she's too high maintenance." She didn't. No, Rodney put the color of my hair. Just happens to be cute.
Exactly.
That don't mean
Exactly. There you go. I like it.
that doesn't mean that because I look a certain way that I'm going to carry myself a certain way. And don't put your past experiences on me. Get to know me first.
Right.
Hello. That's right.
They will
Yes.
prejudge you. What about you,
Yes.
Pam? Do you
Well,
get
I
that?
mean, piggybacking off of her, I was raised to be Pam. I mean, my dad didn't teach me to, I mean, I'm just me. I don't care about, I look at the person inside.
Exactly.
Titles mean nothing to me.
Exactly.
So,
Right,
you
right.
know, and I mean, if you know me, you know that about me. I could care less. We all know a whole lot of people who hold a lot.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, ladies,
I'm
we're gonna
just
hold that thought. We gotta go for another commercial break, you guys. Stay tuned for Shop
Right.
Talk.
Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up.
All right, you guys, and we are back, and Sheila is missing. Sheila, you better come on back. She's been having some problems with her internet. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this podcast, this show, is brought to you by our producer, Miss Christine Burkett, and she is amazing, Black owned, you guys, and she's doing an amazing job here. So what we're trying to do is trying to get this podcast show out there so that everybody can be aware of what it is that we're doing. You're tuned in to a Shop Talk with two beautiful young women, and we're talking about dating after divorce and after the death of a partner, a spouse. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. We'll be more than happy. The ladies are more than happy to answer any questions or comments that you guys have. And make sure you click like and share so that everyone can see this amazing show and the topics that we're talking about. So Pam and Sheila, you know, we are people, and I include myself there as well. We're mature, we're seasoned, people of a certain age.
Can you tell?
Yeah, and you really can, Sheila, because you rocking that cut. You look good, baby. And Pam look good. And I have y'all to know that all the ladies that come on the show, I do their hair.
Yes, she does.
Pretty much.
That's a shocker.
Exactly, right? But
And
look, we have
job.
thank you, babe. We all have a list, a dating list. And I know with mine, it kind of changed some because I'm a certain age and there's things I was looking for from, a partner or a relationship. Do you guys find that you had to kind of scratch off a few little things or you just put them in and prioritize them in different areas? I'm gonna ask you, Pam, since you fresh and you back out here. Did you switch some of them priorities?
I don't have a list.
Neither do
I never have.
Y'all don't have a list.
No.
But look.
We just know what works for us.
Yeah.
Okay, look, listen to this. Did you guys see the interview with Viola Davis?
And I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Oh, it was real powerful. So she was talking, I forgot who she was on the show with, but they asked her about her husband and how she came. And you know what? Now, I don't understand. I've been a Christian a long time. Viola went on the show and she admitted that, well, I don't go to church that much. And Lord, forgive me. And she just came. But what she said she did is she prayed. And she's very specific about what she wanted in a partner. Mm-hmm. And she listed everything. And she got what she prayed for. So I didn't quite understand that because, like I said, I've been a Christian a long time, and she barely went to church. I was going to church 24/7, doing everything that I was told to do, and I've been praying for a long time, and ain't nothing like that.
Well, here's my take. The power of prayer is real. Okay? And you manifest what you believe. I get that. But when you're saying a list, I don't have a piece of paper literally. I'm saying he needs to be 6'3", 180 pounds. no kids, never been married. I don't have that. Innately,
Right.
I know kind of what I want and what I'm attracted to, but I
Mhm.
don't have a list because I feel like if I focus so much on this list, I'm gonna miss the man God sent to me.
There
Right,
you
right.
go.
Okay, but
That's
you are
that's
praying
me.
for it.
But I do have something that I know
Right,
that
and
I
that's
like and don't
important.
like about a person. But I'm not gonna say that because he's not dark skinned or light skinned or whatever, I'm not gonna meet him. And some people do. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I just don't do that.
Right,
Because I
right.
feel like everyone can have a chance, and the very person that I'm saying no to
Don't
because
give a
he's not on
chance to
my
might
list,
be the one.
it might be the one.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
why I
There
don't
you
have a
go.
list.
Are there any deal breakers, lady? It's got to be a deal breaker. Are there any deal breakers?
Don't put your hands on me. If I hear you got
Okay,
it.
okay.
Okay,
We got
okay,
Roz.
Sheila.
Hey, Roz, how are
Hey, Sheila.
you? Are there any perspectives that are off limits? That's a good one. Any
No,
prospects that are off limits?
no married men and no situationships. I don't deal situationships with that.
No,
If
man.
you
What
get the
about
divorce, call me when you get the divorce and you spent some time with yourself. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
okay?
that's just me.
I'm definitely drama free. You know,
Yes,
I don't bring it, so don't bring it.
Right,
You know,
right,
I don't bring in whatever happened with you and her in the last relationship.
right,
right,
Now, and because I don't bring that.
right,
So I'm
right.
exactly.
good. You know what? If you're about all that, then I'm good on you.
If your
Good.
ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend has full access to you all the time, then I'm not the one for you because that means you
Hello.
haven't closed them doors yet. So let me
Yeah,
just stay over here. Because
yeah,
my doors are closed. I'm making sure
Right.
I'm closing them doors before I come into another situation, as Pam mentioned. So that to
absolutely. And
me,
I
that I feel like
definitely
that's
want
off limits to me. To me,
Right.
because
some
to me,
And
people
it's just about not playing any games with people's
games
emotions
exactly.
and
and
people's
that and
feelings.
that the game thing is important. You know, with the marijuana thing that's going on, um, and I have a
Smoking.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a problem with someone that smokes, and I mean to each his own. I just don't like the smell. I prefer that
Yeah.
you do edibles. So if you have a brother that is a brother that partakes into marijuana, smoking marijuana, is that a problem?
For me, it is personally because I don't like smoke.
Yeah,
So smoking cigarettes or e-cigarettes or marijuana, no, I'm not stuffy, but I just don't. That's just not my cup of tea. Like you, I
Right,
don't like the scent or the smell. Now I will be, in all honesty, I'll walk into a cigar bar and
right,
meet some.
right.
I don't like the smoke there, but the
Can you hear
marijuana,
me?
actual cigarettes on a regular basis in my
Oh,
house, in
okay.
the car, I can't. I never did, even
And
as
what
a
about
kid.
you?
well, I agree with her. On all fronts. I can go into a cigar bar, but that's my choice.
That's
But
right.
as far as somebody being a chain smoker and a marijuana smoker, I mean, you know, no, I'm good. I'm good on you.
Right, right. And
There's nothing
sometimes,
wrong with it now. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. You know,
Right. Exactly.
okay,
That's just personal
our
preference.
producer is asking, what do you think about men who have never been married between the ages of 50 to 65?
Now, my question is that supposed to be a red flag? Because so you hear a lot of people say, well, if they've never been married, no kids, what's wrong with them? And there goes that stigma I was talking about
Hmm,
again.
hmm.
It's the other side of the pendulum, right?
Right.
Um, I don't think that I would hold that against them. It's other
Against
things that,
them?
yeah, it's other things that you probably have to look at to find out why. Maybe they were caregivers and they didn't have time. Maybe they were married to their profession and they just didn't take the time to look. You know, if he's one of those serial daters, that might be a flag because that means he, may not be ready for commitment, and then you'll be the next one on his list. I don't know. I'm not going to say that's off the
Off
table
limits for you.
100%.
Right, right, right. So, Pam, what about you? Can you answer that?
I think definitely my curiosity would pique. I
Right.
think that, you know, in talking to somebody and getting to know somebody, they'll tell you you'll find that answer out anyway without outright asking.
Right.
You
I
know,
agree.
you'll find that answer anyway because it'll come up because generally you're talking about relationships when you're meeting somebody.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Now, what about a young guy? Would you date a young guy?
That's tough. The reason why is because my daughter is some,
What?
I'm not trying to be in my daughter's space. I have a daughter that's going to be 30 in a couple of days, and I'm like, I don't know, going backwards. Now, I've been approached. I'll tell you a funny story.
Yeah,
I'm not going to name names because some people are out here, but one day I was in Atlanta with a girlfriend really quickly, and this guy at the bar, we were sitting at the bar having dinner. The guy at the bar was you could tell he was very interested, and he told his age. And I did the math. I go, oh, that's not too bad. And she goes, you know, that's the age of my son, which grew. And I'm like, I totally took away that lens of like, oh, he's attractive. He's nice looking. He's younger. She said, you know, that's the same age as, and she named her son. And that totally went to mom mode. So I was like, oh, that's kind of hard to go date down. But I have been approached. I'm not opposed to it, but the maturity level has to be there. I've never done it, but I'm not going to say I won't do it.
Right, because a lot of young brothers are interested in mature women.
I'm not a sugar mama though, so you can't come at me that.
Right. Oh yeah, that definitely. And I don't understand how people associate that just because you're older than them that they're expecting you to be a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. That I don't know where y'all get that from. So y'all gotta X that out your mind.
Some people don't think I'm as old as I am too. I get that a lot. So yeah.
Christine is asking Pam, do you think it's harder for men or women to date after their spouse have made their transition?
That depends on the person. I don't, maybe 8 months after Bill passed, I made a complete change to my home because I have to start living for me. I'm still here.
Right.
So yeah, I made a complete change to my home because I had to.
Right.
Yeah. So it depends on the person because some people hold a shrine. Now I have no bones about that. That is your choice.
Right. Because people breathe differently.
I can't hang on like that in order to live.
Right. And in order for you to progress and move forward, and you have to take off the ring, and you can wear it around your neck. It's not saying that you forgot Bill or you forgot all the wonderful years that you had with him. It's just saying that you have to move forward because, like you said, you're still here.
Right.
And by me working for a lot of women doing hair, I get a lot of women, and this one customer in particular, of course, I will not say her name, but she's a wonderful woman, and her husband has been dead for quite a few years now. I think over 7 years, and she's still holding on and hanging on. But now I think she's getting around to that. I need companionship, because she's still here.
Right.
She's still here, and if you're here, these are things that are just regular things, everyday things that we need as human beings. We want someone that we can go to that's going to hug us affectionately. Somebody going to be able to give us something that our friends can't do.
Right.
And know that, and I don't know too many brothers, ladies, that didn't get married or took on a date a year or so, or if that long, right after the deaths of their wives. So my thing is, like I said, everybody grieves differently, but don't forget that you are still here and you still matter. And I don't care.
Even after divorce, we're still here. We're still viable women.
I don't care what age you are. You deserve to be loved. And there's someone out there that's willing to provide that for you. So we got another commercial break, you guys. We're going to take this. This is Shop Talk. We'll be right back, you guys, with Pam and Sheila, and we're talking about dating after divorce and the death of a friend. We'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
Broken future, all the plans you made in your heart grew just to die.
Hey, you guys, and we are back. This
You're
is
back.
Rodney Howell with Shop Talk. Hey, you guys, as you saw during the commercial break, there are a lot of really cool conversations that are going on here on this platform. So you guys got to tune in and join, subscribe, so that you can see exactly what's going on here on the platform. We have a couple more comments let me see. Here's one right here. Sheila, after your divorce, do you think people should get counseling before they start dating? How did you do it? It's a great
I do recommend that. Sometimes we feel like, oh, we're free, we can, we're okay, but there's a lot of baggage there, whether you want to admit it or believe it or not. So I don't think it will hurt to talk to someone. If you have a
Mhm.
support group that you can talk to, there's no stigma, or you shouldn't think there's a stigma about seeking help, because you do need it. Personally, I didn't do it as much as I should have. I did seek some guidance from the pastors at the church. I personally think I started dating too soon after my divorce, my second divorce.
Right, right. And
But
Sheila, what made you think that you started dating too soon afterwards?
I didn't really have, I really didn't have time to, I don't want to use the word grieve, but I really didn't
Right,
have time to process everything. In all honesty and transparency, I lost everything.
right,
I
right,
really did. I mean, I lost pretty much everything, including custody of one of my kids, and no, nothing's wrong with me.
Wow.
right, right,
So it was very traumatic. And I did have a great support group, people around me, family, friends. But sometimes you need that neutral person that can kind of help you through that, because you always
right.
got to have your cheerleaders. So I did do a little bit of that, but I started dating too soon. And then when I pulled back, I had to breathe a little bit. So that's kind of how I did it. Not to say that that works, and it helped. Um, and then I was in a long-term relationship that felt like
Right.
another marriage.
Afterwards. Right,
Uh,
after the
so
divorce.
literally, I'm just now really starting to get really back out there within the last year or so. COVID was a pause, but that's kind of what I did personally
Right.
myself.
That's
Yeah.
good. Now, Pam, did you go into some type of grieving program? I know they have different bereavement programs after people have lost a loved one. And if you did, is that something that they talked about getting back to, your
Well,
life? And
I'm a firm believer of therapy.
Yes.
I've had a
Mhm.
therapist years ago. I cared for my dad and my mom. I've lost both
Mhm.
of them, but I had a therapist a long time ago. So I'm a firm believer of that. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, she had retired little bit after Bill passed, but I did have my church, my pastor,
Right, right,
Mhm.
to talk to.
and
Right.
just God, God,
Right.
Got
period.
to. Yep.
Which is
I still have
important.
so.
I think we all need somebody. And I'm sure we all were brought up to, believe that it's nobody's business what goes on here in the house stays in the house.
Mhm.
But we all need to talk to somebody to
Right.
get that stuff out, to get advice, and really to find out who we are, our inner
Yep.
being, who
That's
we
right.
are as people. What is it that we can do to better ourselves? What is it
That's
that we
right.
can do, when we go out and we do decide to take on a partner? What is it that I must do in order to be a part of the successful relationship? Because we know relationships are not easy at all. I get it all the time. Even if you're in love with somebody, you're still, for one, it's a man and it's a woman
Yeah.
automatically. So you're gonna
You have
bump.
to learn how to be in a relationship with yourself and with the Lord, because you lose
Yes,
that
There
sometimes.
you
yes.
go.
Yeah,
And
you
then
lose
Because
too,
that.
you have to
You have to
constantly
be.
work on you.
That's
and it's
right.
important. And
Because that's
Sheila
the
don't
only
like
one that's the only person you can control.
is yourself.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
Yep.
true.
there is nothing. Therapist is a professional. They're there to listen to me,
Right.
Right.
and help me deal with it, help me cope with it,
Right.
Right.
depending
And
on the
get through it.
situation.
And get
Right.
through it. Sheila,
Yep.
I like what you said. A lot of times people, and I feel that people, especially if you have children, and even in a relationship, if you don't have children, you end up losing yourself.
I define
And-
Sheila. Yep.
right. And you have to find before your mom or before your babe or honey or wife
Right.
or
Right.
grandma, whatever it is, you're Sheila first.
That's
And I
right.
tell people that all the time. You have to make time for Sheila, the
Yeah.
person, not Sheila the mom, Sheila the wife, or because if we don't have some me time,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna go right for the household,
Right.
for the kids or the husbands or whatever. So I truly am a firm believer that we need to take time for us and probably just get a day where we can get out without our wives or husbands and the kids and just
Mhm.
Sheila, find some friends from back in the day. But I
Yeah.
find a lot of women they don't do that. And the brothers sometimes the brothers they get out a little more. I find that even in the salon, women would come and get their hair done, and their husbands have the kids. They're not babysitting the kids because it's their kids.
Right.
So they have their kids. Them brothers will call the salon about 50 million times. She finished yet? When she coming? When she coming? It's like, dude, give her a break.
Right.
Because majority of the times the mother's taking over the role. You're cooking, you're picking the kids up from school. So a lot of
Mhm.
times women do a lot. You guys are the backbone
And see, you
of
have
everything.
to you have to set that ground though. You
Right.
have
In
to
your relationship. We have
absolutely.
another question here. Dating is tough. Do you think men have unrealistic or different expectations about women in general?
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And it is. Sheila, you said yes first. What type of expectations
I
are
didn't mean to. It just came out like that. Pam can
okay?
talk.
Give me an example of that. Is there an expectation that you think that's unreal?
I
You
think
know,
men sometimes want women to come perfect in this pretty little bow with all the things that they want that woman to be. But then they don't want to come to the table with things that the woman desire from them. So I think
right,
sometimes there's some unrealistic expectations, especially as we get older. I've had 2 kids. My weight go up and down. It's been down.
right,
There's times where it's been up. And
right.
so you're in the dating scene, they want you to be perfect, like, kind of like, that runway model type scenario. And
But
not
but
all
wait,
men are
wait.
set up like that.
Some brothers want curves, baby. They want something to
No, I'm
hold
not.
on
I'm not. When I
to
mean runway, I mean that everything has to be in order and in place, and
in
you
order.
should
Right,
want to be
right.
that way. I'm not saying come sloppy or anything like that, but sometimes the
Hmm.
expectations of what they want us to be are unrealistic right out of the gate. Now you may get all that, but
Right,
some of I feel personally, not everybody, but I think sometimes they do
right. Do
I
you
think
consciously,
guys
subconsciously
find
do that.
that? I'm
I
sorry,
think
in
go ahead.
dating.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Pam.
Go ahead, Pam.
I think to that respect, I don't even worry about that because if you're comfortable in your own
That's
skin,
right.
That's
then
important.
the right one will be there.
Right.
Exactly.
If you're
Yeah,
coming
that's
in
true.
judging, we're not gonna do
We're
nothing
not gonna
anyway,
work. Right.
you
We're
know.
not gonna work. And they usually fall
Because
off, right, Pam?
what about you?
Right. Men,
Right.
You
exactly.
know,
That's important.
so
Do you find that men are looking for a mother figure, or somebody to be
They
a
won't
mother?
admit it, but sometimes that can come across that way.
Exactly. I've heard that a lot.
Or they want a spouse before they are ready to
Exactly.
commit. Yeah.
They're looking for somebody, and especially Sheila, you said that you were both of you are women of a particular age, and you're dating, and sometimes you could date somebody that's got a younger kid, and that could be a problem because you have your kids, Sheila, they're grown. Pam, you have your daughter, and she's grown, with her kids. Would
Mhm.
that be, and when I asked about the deal breaker, would that be a deal breaker if you met a guy
No,
and he had
no,
a,
no,
for
a
me,
young
not at all.
kid?
it's
Not
not
at
for
all.
me.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
Okay,
Because you know what? I had a daughter. I
Yes.
dated someone when my daughter was younger.
hmm
Hmm.
Uh, and I admire a man that is a good dad, is a good father.
right,
Because
Right.
that's what I had. As long as there's no drama with the
the
mama,
mother, right,
we're
That's
exactly.
the
good.
key.
We're good. I
That's the key.
welcome that.
Yep. I
I
agree.
have no
That is
issues with that at all.
that's not a deal breaker for me either.
Okay, that's good. So
Now,
we
I'm not, sometimes guys will say, well, they need a mama. Don't they have one? Like, I can
exactly,
Right.
be a great
Oh, and
bonus
I
mom.
definitely
I'm
do
not have
not.
no problem
I
with that.
exactly.
But don't
I
come in
definitely respect the mom. I don't
right,
step in because I've already raised a daughter. I've been a mom,
right.
so
Yep.
All
I
right,
respect
we
that
we
role.
have our last commercial break. I'm sorry, Pam. We got a last commercial break, and we are going to come back and wrap this up, you guys. This is part 2 of dating after divorce shop
Yes,
talk,
sir.
which has been really interesting.
All
And
right,
I
all
appreciate
right.
you guys.
Yes,
So we're gonna go
sir.
take this commercial break, and we're coming back, guys.
All right.
So I pull myself together to not give myself the pressure. I don't know what to do with this. Should I let him go? Go. I don't know what to do with this. Should I let him go? Go. I fall for his eyes when he's staring into mine. Know he's bad for me. So what's standing in my way? When he's all in my league, I feel insecure, but I hope this is real, yeah. He doesn't mind at all, he want my juice like a. He does whatever while he feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah. He doesn't mind at all, he want my juice like a. He does whatever while he feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah. So I pull myself together to not give myself the pressure. I don't know what to do with this. Should I let him go? Go. I don't know what to do with this.
All right, you guys, this is the last part of our show. Dang, it ends so quick. But I have a question that I want to ask, and I'm going to propose this to Pam first. Pam, what 5 things do you think a person should do before entering into the dating field after a divorce or a death of a partner?
Well, I don't know if I have 5, but I will say, first and foremost, make sure you're ready.
Right, that's
Make sure
important.
you that's extremely important, because you don't want to, obviously, it to fail on your end or on the other
Mhm.
person.
Right,
You
right.
got to know that you're ready, and it's okay. There's no time limit or expiration date on that.
Okay, and what else?
I would say that be open to compromise.
Right.
You know, because that's what marriage is. That's what relationships are.
That's good. Good thought. All right, Sheila, what do you propose, Sheila? 5 things that you would say a person needs to do before entering back into the dating field after a divorce or a death?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Pam said, I don't know if I have 5, but for one, just breathe. Give yourself that opportunity to just breathe and reflect and kind of get your bearings. Make sure you're ready, as she said. Have an open mind. Don't bring some of that baggage or the preconceived notions into the new relationship, because that person that you're dating now is not the person you were married to before, right? So I would do that and learn who you are and what you want. Be real clear about that, because sometimes we go into relationships, new relationships, not really even knowing what we want.
Right.
So
And
you'll
that's
set yourself
important.
up for failure for that. So just learn who you are, breathe, and figure out what you want for yourself and what you want in your next relationship. And I think that will help.
Great. And I appreciate that. Sheila and Pam, my wonderful guests, my 2 sisters. I love you to life. Thanks so much for coming on
Yes.
the talk
And
tonight.
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Yes.
transparent, guys. And I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people. We're going to share this episode too right after the show for those who weren't able to tune in live with us. But I appreciate it, you guys. Until next week, this is your boy Rodney from Shop Talk, and we will be back next week with a little more Shop Talk. This is my
That's
girl.
right.
Pam. I
God
love
bless.
you guys.
Love
And
you.
thank you so much
Love
for
you
being
too.
on the show, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Stay tuned.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do Moon landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. I was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.